Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. Happy Father's Day 2025. Last year for Father's Day, I did a show on father rock stars with the most kids, and Bob Marley's up there, and I think BB King and people. I can't remember who came in at number one. I'm going to put that show in the description below. This year, I decided to rank musician children of famous musicians. So musicians who've had kids that have gone on to be famous musicians. So I got probably like 40 people here, and the last 20 I'm going to rank. And I'm going to rank them, in my personal opinion, on talent level and or success. And putting below in the comment how crazy you think I am with some of these as far as my rankings. We're going to start off with some honorable mentions. How about Ronnie and Rob McCoury from Del McCoury's band? Del McCoury's still cranking out his band at 86 years old. How about the children of Eddie Money? Remember they had that reality show? Dez, I think, was the drummer. The daughter was the singer. Pretty talented kids. Donnie Harrison, George Harrison's son, pretty damn talented. James McCartney, Paul's kid, very talented. I don't know a lot about his career. I know he's pretty popular. Dave Brubeck's son, Dave Brubeck Quartet, Chris Brubeck. Spencer Tweedy, Jeff Tweedy's son, Jeff Tweedy from Wilco. Bono has a son. He's got a band that he fronts called Inhaler. His name is Elijah. Phil Lesh passed away last year. Grateful Dead bass player's son, Graham Lesh, has his own Graham Lesh and Friends. And I've seen some video recently. I've never seen Graham. Very talented guitar player, singer. Frank Sinatra had Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking. But Frank Jr. was a crooner in his own right and talented. Deacon Fry, Glenn Fry from the Eagles. His tour with the Eagles. He's been in the Eagles, replacing his dad. I've not seen the Eagles since Glenn died because really, Glenn was the heart and soul of the band for me. Nick Collins, Phil Collins, great drummer, lead singer of Genesis. Phil Collins unable to perform behind the kit, but his son, Nick, certainly can. And he has been the drummer of Genesis, who now basically are finished. Earl Scruggs is the patriarch of the Scruggs family and one of the founding fathers of bluegrass. His son was Gary, and his son, grandson of Earl Scruggs, is Chris Scruggs. And he's in one of the greatest bands in the world right now called Marty Stewart and his Fabulous Superlatives, who I'm going to see in Kansas City, I think on the 19th of September for the first time. He's also playing on October 11th at Wildwood Springs Lodge in Steelville, Missouri. Check out Marty Stewart's and his Fabulous Superlatives, and Chris Scruggs is in that band. Donovan, great mellow yellow singer. Sunshine Superman singer, one of my favorite folk artists. Son, Donovan Leitch. Not familiar with his work, but I know he's popular. Abe Laboriel Sr. and his son, Abe Laboriel Jr. Santana, famous guitar player, one of my favorite musicians of all time. Son, Salvador Santana. R.L. Burnside, famous North Mississippi blues artist. Check out his album, Ass Pocket Full of Whiskey, from 1996 if you want to hear some great North Country Mississippi blues. He has a couple sons, Dwayne Burnside and Gary Burnside. How about Ricky Nelson? They had their two sons, Gunnar and Matt, had the band Nelson. I Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection from 1990. And then Waylon Jennings, whose wife was also a musician, Jessie Coulter. Their son is a two-time Grammy winner and producer and singer-songwriter Shooter Jennings. Now let's get into my top 20. Why do I have the right to rank the children musicians of famous musicians? Because I have a YouTube channel called Intersection Records, and you should subscribe to that. By the way, happy Father's Day to all you out there. We're just having fun here, but we are going to rank these according to my criteria, which is who I like, who I think is the most talented and successful. How about Devin Allman and Dwayne Betts? They have a band called Allman Betts. Dwayne's also in Palomito Motel with Alex Orbison, son of Roy Orbison. He's also in a band called White Star. Dwayne Betts. Devin's got Southern Brotherhood, but the Allman Betts band, Devin Allman, Dwayne Betts. Coming in at number, tied for 20, Natalie Cole. Father was Nat King Cole. She's won 9 Grammys. That's way more than Dwayne Betts and Devin Allman. Anyway, but before them, at 19, a couple of brothers also. Luther and Cody Dickinson, North Mississippi All-Stars. Check out their album, their debut album, Shaking Hands with Shorty, from 2000. It's one of the best North Country blues experience. A lot of R.L. Burnside, who we just talked about in honorable mentions. Check out the North Mississippi All-Stars. Their father was Jim Dickinson, who played piano at Muscle Shoals, played piano on Wild Horses when the Stones came to Muscle Shoals and needed a piano player. Arlo Guthrie, son of Woody Guthrie. Alice's Restaurant. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. I like that song quite a bit. About the Nelson brothers, son of Willie Nelson, Lucas and Micah. Lucas's voice is so good. Both of these guys are in Willie Nelson's family band. Lucas has played with Neil Young, so has Micah, who Neil Young just dropped an album today featuring Micah Nelson on guitar. Lucas and Micah Nelson. Check out their band, Promise of the Real. Jason Bonham coming in at 16. He had a band called Bonham. His father was the greatest drummer of all time, John Bonham. Remember the song Waiting for You from 1989? But also, Jason's played with Reformation of Led Zeppelin in 2007 for their Celebration Day concert. He's played with Sammy Hagar. He's played with Foreigner. He's been all over the place. Jason Bonham at 16. Dweezil Zappa. Dweezil Zappa's an amazing musician. Yes, he plays the music of his father, one of the greatest musicians of all time, Frank Zappa. But Dweezil is an educator and guitarist and just talented cat. Don't forget, though, the daughter of Frank Zappa, Moon Unit, who helped her father on the 1982 song Valley Girl. The whole Valley Girl thing kind of came from her. And there was a movie in 1982 called Valley Girl, which is pretty good, with Nicolas Cage. Julian Lennon coming at 14. It's much too late for goodbyes. Wah, wah. Here's another song off that same album, Violet, from 1984. Julian Lennon was really popular there for a hot minute around the time that his father died in the early 80s. Julian Lennon. Will there be another Lennon child on this list? I'm going to bring in Carney and Wendy Wilson. Brian Wilson died 2 days ago. Rest in peace, Brian. Wilson Phillips was huge. They sold 10 million records. China Phillips is the daughter of John Phillips, right, from the Mamas and the Papas. But Wendy and Carney Wilson were the daughters of Brian Wilson. 10 million copies of records don't lie. And that song, Hold On. Rosanne Cash coming in at 12. 4 Grammys. Daughter of Johnny Cash. Was Johnny Cash's wife's name? Oh, God, I'm so mad at myself. June Carter Cash. Was Rosanne Cash the daughter of June Carter Cash? As a double musician? Or was that from Johnny's first marriage? I don't know. But certainly Rosanne Cash was the daughter of Johnny. 4 Grammys. Ravi Coltrane, named after Ravi Shankar. Will we talk about Ravi Shankar later as well? Probably, since I brought it up. He's also a double musician. Alice Coltrane, wife of John Coltrane, legendary saxophone player and composer. John Coltrane. Alice Coltrane, famous composer, musician, piano player. Brilliant. Ravi Coltrane is an awesome jazz musician, Blue Note recording artist, just a super talent. Top 10, Ziggy Marley, son of another double musician, Bob and Rita Marley, melody makers, True to Myself. Ziggy Marley is still touring. Ziggy Marley's and there's many other Marley brothers that we could include here, but we're going to bring Ziggy Marley at 10. Miley Cyrus comes in at 9. Man, Party in the USA. Everybody likes that song. Father was Billy Ray Cyrus. Miley Cyrus at 8. How about Johann Sebastian Bach's son, Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach? During his time, he was every bit as popular as his father and Bach. And Mozart. Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach coming in at 8. Wynton Marsalis, Branford Marsalis, Defilio Marsalis, and Jason Marsalis are all sons of the great New Orleans jazz master Ellis Marsalis. That's one of the great jazz families of America and of New Orleans jazz. Certainly Wynton Marsalis went on to incredible heights, and so did Branford, and there's other brothers. Coming at 6, Jakob Dylan. One Headlight, 6th Avenue Heartbreak. Lots of tracks off that huge album that he had there back in like 97. Bob Dylan, of course, his father. Check out Echoes from the Canyon, a documentary that he helped put together about Laurel Canyon. Definitely worth checking out. Sean Lennon's going to come in at 5. People say, oh, Sean Lennon, what's Sean Lennon done? Well, if you don't know who the Claypool Lennon Delirium is, then you're missing out. They got a couple records, and they're insanely sick. Les Claypool on bass from Primus. Sean Lennon guitar playing, songwriting. Psych rock, trippy, kind of jam rock. Sean Lennon is uber talented cat, and but he's not really putting out pop music, and he's not putting out tangible music for most novice listeners of music. Sean Lennon is on it. He's 49 years old, by the way. Okay, Wolfgang Van Halen famously takes over for Michael Anthony in 2006 in Van Halen. He is working on, I think, his 3rd studio album. Check out the song Another Celebration at the End of the World. Wolfgang Van Halen plays all the instruments on his studio albums. His band was called Wolfgang WVH. Now it's Mammoth WVH. Now it's just called Mammoth. He plays drums, bass, sings, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, keyboards, everything. Now going towards the name just Mammoth, I'm wondering if he's not going to let his bandmates kind of now play. There is a new single, I believe, and I can't remember the name. There's a killer video for it. Wolfgang Van Halen's just one of the most talented human beings on earth, and that's why he's coming at 4. And I'm going to bring Zach Starkey in at number 3, the drummer of The Who. His father, Richard Starkey, of course, was Ringo Starr, the drummer of the Beatles. Zach Starkey's maybe one of the greatest rock drummers in the scene today. He's in his early 50s. He's been in The Who from 1996 until famously being fired a couple weeks ago by The Who in 2025. If you don't know who he is, he revitalized The Who. when he took over in 1995 or 1996. I've seen him 3 times with The Who. He's just unbelievable. And he was also in Oasis for several years. One of the great drummers. Coming in at number 2, daughter of Ravi Shankar. 53 million albums sold. Norah Jones, so pretty, 1, and so talented, 2. And 53 million albums, a voice like that, classy, elegant, beautiful performer. I've never seen her live. I would love to. Who is my number 1? And by the way, I know that there's somebody out there that I'm forgetting. Leave in the comments who I'm forgetting. And I feel like it's a big person. I got Hank Williams Jr. coming in at number 1. Your father, Hank Williams, is the founder of modern country music, right? And then you go out and you have kind of an outlaw country career with Family Tradition and All My Rowdy Friends and all the things that he did to have that huge country music career. I mean, yeah, does it surpass Norah Jones? I think it does. I think he's kind of an icon in his own right in a different way. When your father is the Elvis Presley of country music or the Miles Davis of country music, to go out and have a career that where you step out of those shoes, because it's hard to step out of these shoes anyway. Maybe one day my son will be a great musician, and maybe that would certainly be great. Anyway, happy Father's Day, fathers out there. You do a lot for everything in this world and your families. So peace out. Have a great weekend. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you like this type of stuff. See ya.